Love is sometimes like a fire that burns fiercely at first, but can also be extinguished by just a light wind. There are women who were once loved passionately, but then, after a few months, the man disappeared without a reason. There are women who thought they had captured his heart, but then suddenly realized that she was just a temporary journey. Why is that? Why are some people kept, and others left? Is love due to luck, or beauty, or sacrifice? The answer lies in none of those things. The truth is that men can be attracted by appearance, but attached by inner depth. They can be attracted by softness, but stay because of stability. The more mindful a woman is, the more a man cannot leave her. Not because she holds him tight, but because she doesn't need to. Her presence is enough to make him not want to lose her. In this video, we will explore together the 5 steps to make a man love you forever and never leave you. The steps are drawn from the principles of a feminine version of a woman, but expressed with the heart of a modern woman. And if you want to learn how to love without losing yourself, welcome to the Secret of Life channel, where women learn to be strong in gentleness, brave in love. Step 1 is yourself, even when you are most alone. The first thing a feminine version of a woman needs to learn is to know how to live fully with herself, even when she is most alone. There is a common truth in love that few people dare to look straight at. We are afraid of loneliness. We panic at the thought of being abandoned, so we cling to texting constantly, trying to hold on to every promise. But the more we try to hold on, the more easily love slips away from us. The peaceful feminine version of women understands that what is beyond their control, let go calmly. A man who doesn't text, doesn't call, or is silent, is all beyond your control. The only thing you can control is your attitude and actions in those lonely moments. Imagine, one weekend evening, the man you love suddenly disappears. He doesn't reply to your messages, doesn't pick up his phone. What would you normally do? You would worry, be restless, text him constantly, check his social media every minute and second. The more you do this, the more you lose your value and peace. Now, try something different. The feminine version of the woman. When he disappears, you gently put your phone aside. Instead of sitting there guessing, you get up and take care of yourself. You can take a warm bath, enjoy your favorite book, or finish up some unfinished work. You choose to love yourself even when he is not around. Let's take an example from a real story. Linda, a girl who used to text her boyfriend as soon as he didn't reply, learned to live in balance. One day, Linda's boyfriend was silent all day. Instead of panicking like before, Linda decided to turn off her phone, go out for coffee with her best friend, chat happily, then go home to watch a movie and rest early. When she woke up the next morning, her boyfriend sent a series of text messages apologizing and explaining that he had an unexpected problem yesterday. What was the miracle? He felt guilty about the sudden absence and appreciated Linda even more when he saw that she did not lose control, did not blame, and was not weak. It was Linda's steadfastness that made the man deeply realize her value. He realized that Linda was a woman worth taking seriously because she knew how to control her emotions and her life with or without him. Always remember that mindfulness lies in the ability to enjoy life, love yourself, and maintain a calm mind in all circumstances. Such a woman not only attracts men, but also makes men never want to leave. Step 2. Don't react. Respond intentionally. In love, the biggest difference between a strong woman and a weak woman is how she behaves when things don't go as planned. The secret of life is that between a stimulus and a response, there is always a gap. In that small gap, you are completely free to choose your attitude, words, and actions. That is the true power of a conscious woman. We often make the mistake of reacting too quickly to hurt, doubt, or disappointment. Just a cold text message, a last-minute cancellation, or an insensitive word can make you react immediately with anger, blame, or worse, tears and begging. The more you react like that, the more you push the man away, because he will feel suffocated and lose his freedom next to you. Instead, a balanced, self-sufficient woman will stop, take a deep breath, and ask herself, what's going on inside me right now? She knows that she can't control how the other man acts, but she can control how she responds to the situation. For example, imagine your boyfriend consistently comes home late without warning. You feel hurt and abandoned. If you let your emotions take over, you'll be harshly critical as soon as he walks in the door. You'll both be hurt, and you'll never get a satisfactory explanation. Now, try practicing mindfulness. Instead of getting angry right away, take a step back and take a moment to acknowledge your true feelings. You realize that what you need is not an argument, but respect and clarity. When you have calmed down, you tell him in a calm manner, I know you can be busy, but I feel disrespected when you come home late without telling me. I want to understand what is going on. Such a statement makes a man stop, think, and adjust his behavior. I once witnessed a friend who saved a relationship by doing this. Instead of yelling and blaming when she discovered her lover was inconsiderate, she chose to be silent for a few minutes, calm her emotions, and then speak gently but firmly. I chose to speak out so that we can understand each other, not to argue. I hope you understand this. That calm attitude not only surprised, but also admired the man. He realized that next to a woman who knows how to control herself, he was forced to act more maturely and respectfully. Remember, men don't leave women who are in control of their emotions and respond with purpose. They stay because they are women who make them work harder every day to be worthy of her. Step 3. Set boundaries, but don't use coldness. One of the biggest mistakes women make in relationships is not knowing their boundaries, or worse, using coldness to set them. A balanced feminine woman will do the opposite. She knows what she can accept and what she absolutely cannot. But the way she sets limits is never by being cold or punishing the man beside her. Men do not always act according to your wishes. The stoic way to respond in this situation is to calmly and directly set limits, clearly and calmly, without losing control. A woman, a feminine person, speaks up for what she needs, not using anger or coldness to force others. A real-life example is Linda, a balanced feminine woman who successfully saved her relationship. When her boyfriend repeatedly broke his promises and often broke off appointments at the last minute, instead of using silence and indifference to punish him, Linda decided to talk to him clearly. She understands that everyone is busy at times, but what really needs is respect and clarity in every action. If you promised, I expect you to keep it, or at least let me know in advance if you can't. For me, respect and trust are the foundation of this relationship, and I can't accept such constant disappointment. Not a word of reproach, not a cold sentence, but those gentle words made the man look back at his own behavior. He realized that if he continued to behave irresponsibly, he would lose a truly valuable woman. From then on, he gradually changed, tried to keep his promise, and respect the limits that Linda had set. The wisdom of a balanced woman lies in this balance. She knows how to set limits, not with harsh words, not with a hard and cold attitude, but with gentleness, but clearly, softly, but decisively. A man will not be able to leave a woman who knows her own worth, knows how to say no when necessary, and knows how to clearly state what she wants without having to hurt the other person. It is the subtlety, the inner strength, that makes a man want to be with her for life. The next step is not to chase romance, but to seek the truth in action. Love in the eyes of many people is painted with roses, candlelight, and sweet promises. She understands that words are easy to say, but actions are the truth. A man can say "I love you" every day, but if he often breaks his promises, is not there when you need him, or never really listens to you, those words are just a cover for an empty love. On the contrary, a man who truly loves will show it through consistent actions. He will remember the little things you shared, will stand by you when you are weak, will take the time to listen and accompany you, even when there is no candlelight or love song behind. Listen to Vicky's story. A girl once loved a guy who was very good at romance. He often gave her gifts, wrote handwritten letters, took her on surprise trips. But every time Vicky needed him in difficult times, when she was sick, when her mother was hospitalized, when she lost her job, he always had an excuse to be absent. After a few years, Vicky realized that she loved an image, not a person. She was in pain but woke up and decided to leave. Later, Vicky met another man. He didn't talk much, wasn't good at romance, but always appeared when she needed him. When she was sick, he silently cooked porridge, sat by her bed all night. When she lost her job, he didn't advise her to be strong, but sat down with her to calculate expenses, sharing the pressure. No roses, no red cards, just a love in action. And that's when Vicky knows she's chosen the right man. A balanced woman understands that true love is not about drama, but about consistent presence. She doesn't naively believe in fleeting moments of ecstasy, but quietly observes to see if the man truly lives up to what he says. She chooses a man who keeps his word, knows how to act, and doesn't need to impress with temporary romance. Because to her, love is not a fairy tale. It is real life, where truth is worth more than promises and action is the only measure of a sincere heart. Step 5. Happiness is something internal, not from others. There is an important secret that few women know, but when understood and applied, it will completely change the way you are loved. That is, happiness never comes from others. It always comes from within you. A balanced woman realizes that she cannot control anyone's feelings, attitudes, or actions, including the man beside her. The only thing she can control is her own emotions, thoughts, and self-worth. This sounds simple, but is extremely important in love. When you put your happiness completely in the hands of a man, you inadvertently give him control of your life. And then, the man not only feels pressured and tired, but also gradually loses the feeling of wanting to be attached for a long time, because he feels like he is shouldering too much responsibility. Responsibility must always make you happy. On the contrary, a woman who understands the principles of happiness will seek and build joy for herself every day. She does not depend on loving messages every morning, does not need to have that man by her side to feel complete. She makes time for her hobbies, career, family, relationships, friends, and enjoys that balance in the most authentic way. When a man sees that the woman he loves is always happy and peaceful from within, without him having to try to prove anything, strangely, he wants to be closer, love, and stick with her for a long time. Why is that? Because men always crave freedom and ease in a relationship. When he loves a woman who knows how to create her own joy, he will find that he is loved in the most natural and comfortable way. He no longer has to be afraid of disappointing her, does not have to try hard to maintain her joy every day. On the contrary, he wants to proactively step into her life, hoping to contribute to that joy that is already there. A specific example is Helen, an independent and emotionally autonomous girl. Her boyfriend once confided, What makes me always want to be by your side is because I do not feel pressured to constantly make you happy. You create your own joy, and I just want to share and participate in that joy. My man doesn't feel bound. He truly feels at peace with her, a peace he can't find anywhere else. Remember that when you are your own source of happiness, you become the most precious thing in a man's eyes. He loves you forever because with you, he can be himself, free, but still complete and happy. That is the power that makes your love last forever and cannot be separated. When a woman practices these 5 steps completely, lives as herself, even when lonely, knows how to respond intentionally. Instead of reacting emotionally, sets limits gently but clearly, does not chase romance, but looks at real actions, and, most importantly, creates happiness within herself. She not only loves the right way, but also becomes a woman that no man can leave. Because every man desires a love that makes him feel like himself, but at the same time, makes him more mature, more profound, and more responsible. A woman who lives by these principles never makes a man feel controlled, demanded, or judged. She does not tire him out by constantly having to please him, but is not easy or dull either. She is present with a very unique energy, both free and attractive, both calm and profound. And that is what makes men unable to let go. When you do not demand love, love comes by itself. When you are not afraid of losing, others are afraid of losing you. And when you do not need anyone to be happy, the other person will always want to be a part of the world you are building. You do not need to hold on, because you yourself are the place where a man wants to stay. A balanced woman does not love with temporary emotions. She loves with awareness, with understanding of herself, and with deep self-respect. And that is what keeps a man. Not because he is bound, but because he voluntarily chooses to stay. If you are on the journey to becoming such a woman, be patient with yourself. Give yourself emotional knowledge by joining the Emotional Dictionary page. I leave a priority code for you. Every step you take will not only help you love correctly, but also make the man beside you learn to love again sincerely, happily, and forever.